Hey, 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 it's Jane from Your Way Weight Loss. Hi, Alicia.
I don't know if I can get used to that.
You don't like it?
It's just cheese. It's not. Hey,
It's
hey,
cheese over cheese.
hey.
Hey, hey, hey. I mean, at the end of the day, we could just be like, hello,
We
like when we
could,
start.
we could,
But
but that's not us.
that's not us. We are cheesy, cheese over cheese.
Okay, so
Um,
tomorrow, the little humans are leaving our office.
are they? Are they now? Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
It's been something, at least like in the summer, we really like plan it out so that we can have time with them. So we're not like, I love the like 9 to 5 sitting in my office and doing work. You know what I mean? Like I love that, but I love that I can also not do that and still be able to work. Does that make sense?
It makes all the sense. Yeah, you and I are, I think, so the same when it comes to work. It's probably one of the reasons why this has worked for so long and so well
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
we both genuinely love to work.
And it's like maybe a problem actually.
I
Um,
I actually like finally this year I'm done apologizing that I need to work.
yeah, no.
Like,
Oh,
and I'm not even
I,
using the language I have to work anymore. I'm like, I want to work right now.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not
No, I
like,
know.
sorry, mommy has to work. No, mommy's working. Go away.
Exactly. I find it like so annoying that we have to have on top of just like guilt of, going for a walk or going on date and whatever. On top of that, we have to have guilt for working. How the do you think we pay bills? Like for kids, like were we just like destined to just stay home and take care of them? Like I just like feel like no, it's 2022, like I want to do other things. Like this is not just my purpose, this is not just my identity, like to be a mom. Like I am your mom, we are a family, we will, like I am here to provide things that you need as a human, love and food. But you know what I mean? Like I feel like I've given you everything that you need, but also why is it bad for me to have to work? Like I think that's just like what we need to do. Like that's how I pay for the food and the shelter and the vacations and the
Yeah.
life.
Do you
Like,
think that it's partly because I think it is partly because our job is so accessible and we can almost choose to work like
more
we
or
don't
less.
have to work 9 to 5. We could choose to also work more or less. Like we could work 24/7.
Yeah.
But having said that, like when I was working full time outside of the home, like dropping them off at daycare,
Guilt.
guilt.
Well, I definitely don't have guilt. It's when she goes to school and he's at daycare.
Yeah.
I think that that's why I've been okay. So I still have a lot of mom guilt to work through. And I like said this at a meeting. I was like, I am still struggling with a lot of mom guilt. I hope it gets better as they get older. But I do, like it's still a thing, like a big thing, like even to just go for a walk or to move my body, like I still have guilt there that I'm not like always with them. But there's something about like daycare and school that I am guilt free. And that is like so like it's insane how it's heavy on me. Like summer, I have a lot of guilt
I know.
because I still have to work.
I know. I also struggle in the summer as well with the balancing it. And like most of the time, actually want to do both. Like I want to be
Yes.
lounging with you in the pool, but I also want to be working. And also, if I'm honest with myself, when I'm lounging in the pool, I'm just thinking about all the shit I need to do.
Exactly. Or that I would want to do instead.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm just trying to balance out. It's almost like I'm trying to balance out my thoughts. It's not that I'm not balanced out in terms of how I'm behaving. It's that the thoughts behind them aren't fun. It's the thoughts that aren't fun, you know? I don't like that when I'm with them, that I'm like, I think if you weren't here, imagine all the shit I could be doing. That's how I know it's an issue. Like, I don't like those thoughts. And like whatever, I'm saying my thoughts out loud. I think it's important that people know that, not that people have those thoughts. They're like, oh my God, imagine what I could be doing if I didn't have to like look at you and to be with you.
Do you know what? I think, if anything, the world has shown that they appreciate the authenticity of Josee Cormier and her just being honest of your thoughts of feeding your children. And like, it's important. There's so many other women that feel the same way and they feel like they're bad because they think that. Like,
Yeah.
I will never forget you guys. Josee said to me one day, she was like, I figured it out. I was meant to be a dad. And then I laughed. And then what did you say? Like, it was like one time this summer, you go, I figured it out. I was meant to be a divorced dad.
That's what it is, you guys. I would rock the dad game. I think, and you know why I think that? It's because of work. I think I like work more like a man than a woman. And I think I like being a parent more like a man than a woman. So that's why I'm like, I think I would be an amazing dad because and not, oh my God, this is so generalizing and please don't hate on me. Like, shut up. It's going to be okay. Like, these are just like me talking with my best friend. Right. But like, obviously it's generalizing, but I do think that like, if there is something as like being motherly and whatever, like I have that. I'm an awesome mom. I fucking love my kids. Like they know I love them. Like, it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm shit kids. Like it's not like that. It's the thoughts. The kids don't know what my thoughts are. They don't know that in the moment that I'm with them, I'm like, ugh, wish I could be working. You know what I mean?
But like, just because the only reason why we're even having this conversation is because you have a vagina.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? That's the part that's like, and like the only reason why, like when dads are at work, no one says, where's the kids?
Yeah. And
but
also
you
like,
and I are doing something, we're working and someone says, where's the kids? With the guy I had sex with to have the children.
Yeah. With the sperm.
The sperm donor. They're with the sperm.
That's what we should call it. I think it's just, okay. You know why I say because I think, again, I'm a fantastic mom. I think I'm rocking it as a mother. So why am I thinking that I'd be a better father is because of society's it's because of my thoughts. So it's because of the guilt. So I do believe that I'd be a really good father because I think they have no guilt. I have a lot of guilt and I'm not behaving like, even with the guilt, I still go for the walk. Even with the guilt, I still work. So it just seems like it would be easier on me if the expectations were less and I would have less guilt. Guilt is not fun. Guilt is not a fun feeling.
It does seem to be easier to be the sperm donor though.
I'm sorry. Like, I know it's generalizing, but like in both our lives and like the lives that we see around us, it looks way easier. And I think a big part of it is because they have like I see Jeff and he just like makes decisions and he's not like thinking like, are the kids too much on their iPad? Like he just like goes to the pool and sits down because he has 20 minutes in his schedule to sit at the pool. He just like leaves for his bike ride for 2 hours and is not like, is this okay? Like, you know what I mean? So, because he goes during his work time. I don't have work time. I don't have work time because if I'm not work time, it's mom time.
Yeah.
That's why I need the humans to go away so they can have school time, daycare time, so I can go for my walk during my work time without guilt.
Can we talk a little bit about my work time situation that's happening?
Yes.
So my children are on the bus.
Yes.
And they will only arrive at the bus stop at 2:50.
Oh, yes.
They told me the other day, 2:50 something, 2:52, 2:52 p.m.
Yeah.
And I used to have to leave my house at like 1:20 to go get them. So I have gained 1.5 hours every day into my workday.
Oh, I am so happy. I mean, yes. And it's like guilt-free work time. That's what it is, you guys. I'm hoping I'm hoping this will help you not work at 11 p.m. But again, like if you're still working at 11 p.m. once the kids are there full time, like I don't know what's wrong with you. Like that's like, obviously that's a choice. Like you do your thing.
That's a choice though. That's a choice. That's a choice.
Okay. The next thing so Dia as well will be finishing late. Okay. Here's the thing. I even have guilt, you guys. That's why I know I need help and need to work on guilt. And I think that the fact that I have guilt is a privilege that I've had children, that I love them so much that I want, like, that's why you have guilt. If I wasn't a good mom and I didn't love my kids, I wouldn't have this amount of guilt that I'm not with them. Does that make sense? Yes. I see it that way. I see guilt as like, look how much I fucking love them. Because I feel so guilty the minute it's not me, you know?
I know.
So listen, so she goes to school and like 2-3 days a week, someone else, a grandmother, because the grandmother wants to like spend time with Dia, she picks her up at school. If I go for a walk during that time of the day, I feel guilty.
I know what you mean.
If I go while she's at school, don't feel guilty.
I know what you mean.
But the grandmother is keeping her till 4 p.m. because she wants to spend time with Dia, but I won't go for a walk at 3 p.m. It'll be like, I'm feeling guilty if I'm not working, because then I feel guilty for work time. Like, it's just a bunch of fucking guilt, you guys. True miss in this brain of just guilt, feeling bad. Like, that's, I think, oh my God, I just figured it out, Leash. That's the part. It's not the kids. The kids are like, Jeff was like, last night, he said this. He's like, I know, like, we always say like how hard it is, like how the kids like take up a lot of our time and whatever, because we're both like entrepreneurs and like we have like we want to like live life, and it's like they're there and we have to like take care of them. It's like, but our kids are so darn cute, Josee, and like so fun, and like they're like, it's like, imagine if we had shit kids. I'm like, Jeff, no one thinks they have shit kids. I truly believe that. So I'm like, what is it? But like, what is it? And I think that's what it is. It's emotionally taking a lot from me. Like, it's that part. Like, I don't regret having kids, but I planned having kids and not always getting them babysat. No, like, I know that. I planned having kids and they would go to school. I planned having kids and I would go for walks. Like, so what is it, Josee? And it's the emotional guilt that I'm feeling that I did not know was coming with being a mom. So that's why I want to be a dad. There you go. I figured it out. They seem to have less of that.
They do. And it's not, they're raising the same children. Their children are having the same experiences. So it's obviously not, oh, well, of course I feel guilty, because it's like, it's just their perception. Do you know what I mean? Like, they are living the same experience. It's what we're choosing to focus on and what we're choosing. Like, it literally is a choice. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is a choice.
But it is a choice. Absolutely. Me feeling guilty and staying there in that emotion and not convincing myself not to is a choice.
Not saying it wouldn't be hard. It would be very hard. It would take a lot of mindset work, but it is for sure not the reality of the situation that is causing guilt. It's our mind.
Yeah.
This was deep conversation about the kids going back to school.
Yeah. Motherhood. Holy shit.
It's no joke, man. If you guys are listening and you are mothers, man, motherhood is a ride. It is no joke. No one can mentally, physically prepare you for the trauma of a child arriving at your home.
Yeah. So if you're the mom that's like, I don't feel that way, that's awesome. But I do think that, like, the thing is like, if you do feel that way, I see you. I think it's important that I say that I feel that way.
Yes.
So that I can almost normalize those feelings.
100%.
Yes. That I never, if the motherhood conversation comes to the table, I don't even know, even if I met you 2 seconds ago, okay, you will know in 2 seconds that I find being a mom very difficult.
Yeah.
Like, I will not be like, okay, like, they're really cute and whatever. Yes. They really are. They're actually really smart. They're actually like, I think that I will eat their face sometimes. Like, Noah right now is too much. Okay. But he's still a lot. It's still a lot. It doesn't take it away. It's like, it's a lot.
He's still little. You're still like, he's still little.
I know. And right now, like, it's not even like I have less guilt from him than Dia. So it's not the age. That's how I know. Like, I mean, a part of it is, it's like for Dia, it's iPad time. Like, oh my God, she's still on her iPad. Right now, Dia's at her friend's house. Why do I feel guilty that I'm working, that I'm not picking her up, that she's not with me? If she was at school, zero guilt. So I'm like really excited for school time because of the no guilt, honestly.
I agree too. And when I have appointments and they're at school, zero guilt. For me, it's appointments. Like, if I'm going for an appointment, also Neil will be like, another appointment. I'm like, do you want me to look like this? Because there's an upkeep. I don't just wake up looking like this, sir. This is a full operation.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. This was just, I don't know if it's just like Josee just telling all of her life, but like, I had a few moments this summer where, and I want to say this, I think this is what people can take away from this is, if you look at our lives, or if you look at me, let's say on Instagram, and you're like, oh, everything seems like she's happy and everything's full of like, just full of like what she wants to be doing. It's that it doesn't come without creating that life, doesn't come without the moment before of me not having that life and figuring out how to create it.
Yeah.
So like, let's say you're like, oh, like her mom is watching her kids and she's out on date night. I want you to know that maybe have took 5 texts
Yeah.
A conversation with myself not to feel guilty,
Yeah.
a conversation with my mom to make sure she's fine with it, what time we're
Yeah.
getting, like, I don't just like friggin' show up and drop them off and not like have emotions or planning or creating
That's the
behind the
thing.
life I live. So I think
Creating,
that's
and
important.
you have worked very hard for a long time to create that routine and habit to have date night with Jeff.
Yeah. So I think that if you're like looking into your life and you're like, man, I'd love to create a different life for myself. Like, let's say you're like, oh, if like it's not the best, and it doesn't have to be every part of your life, but just certain parts that you're like, I wish I was better at that. I wish that was better. I wish maybe my relationship was better. I wish my sex life was better. I wish that my friendships were better. I wish that I had more time alone. I wish, like, just stop wishing and really start slowly creating that. Time alone could be friggin' once every 2 months, just something.
Do you know what you saying all that reminded me of? Choose You. Because we're talking
Uh,
at Choose You, we're talking about your
yeah.
sex life. We're going to talk about friendships, relationships, motherhood. Like,
Motherhood.
we're going to talk about all of those things and
Yeah.
basically help you choose to want to choose you. You attending that event is you choosing you that night.
Yeah.
But we're also going to, like, I mean, have tons and tons of fun, but also we're hoping it's going to inspire you to continue to choose you
Yeah.
and to build
And
that
to,
life for yourself.
yeah. So you, first of all, you need to choose you to come to that event or watch
Yep.
the event. So you have to press play. And then it's like, once you're there, it's going to trigger internal conversations in yourself on different parts of your life where you'd like to actually go into action, like the next part of that phase. And like, they're just like, this morning, I'm like, Josee, like, I want you guys to know that when I attack a different way of living, it's so slow and steady. I see value in incremental changes. I really do. And Alicia as well. I think that that's what's missing in society. They want all or nothing. And I have to say, like, if you look at our lives today, if you look at my life today, it is literally years of creating the life I have today, the things I have, the money I have, the relationship I have with my husband. It is not something that I just like turned a switch and it was like so quick and like it just all of a sudden this is what happened. It's literally like created through years of seeing value in staying connected to who I want to be and the life I want. And so even this morning, I was getting dressed and I said, I realized that I don't want to say work too much. Maybe I work more than, I don't think that the amount I work is equaling the success I have. So maybe there's a way for me to work smarter. And even if I worked less, AKA less, I could have the same success. Sometimes I worry if I'm not as productive in my content creating that I'm going to lose my success. Like, it's like,
I see what you mean.
if I don't content create at that point, if I
Yeah,
don't show up at that point in my stories,
that's a lot.
will I keep growing? Will I keep, if I don't stay connected to my DMs at that point,
Yeah.
will I keep growing? Will I keep creating? Will I keep being successful? Like, it's like, I worry about that. If I'm not working at this level, can I keep my success? And I said,
know.
you know what? I see what you're saying. And also I love what I do, but there are other parts of my life that I'm lacking in or that I feel like I'm not being the person I want to be because of the type of, like, the amount of work we do. So I'm just going to plug this in. So if you ever ask us if we work, so next thing, the thing is I said to myself, how about you start, Josee, where you pre-plan, because you have to pre-plan sometimes, like you have to pre-portion your friggin' chips because you know that if you just open the bag and you put in the hand, you're not ready. You're almost like a baby right now, baby stages. I said, what if you pre-plan a day, a month, where it's pre-planned that you don't go on Instagram? Like, you just don't, like, that day. If you do that one day, does that make you feel in general like you work less? Like, does that one day of less enough to keep you going the other 29 days and to not feel like you're overdoing it? Like, it's like, instead of doing every day less, what if there's one day? It's like almost like a massive change, but a you day. A day where you go to the mall without your phone and you go to sit alone at a restaurant without your phone, and you, like, it's scary, but that day of recharging and really, like, just like this kind of like date with yourself.
Yeah.
I what effect that could have on how I feel the rest of the 29 days.
I think that would be awesome. I think you should try that. Like it is a lot. Like being on social media is a lot and it's constant. It's 24/7. It's a lot.
And I feel like that's less, like I worry less about that. I know that one day off Instagram is not going to ruin my success or my
No.
growth. So I feel like less worried about that and actually excited about like
Yeah.
today you don't work. Today you actually, because guys, I want you to know, like, even when we're on vacation, even on weekends, like we always have work on our mind, like content creating and growing a business and like always trying to think of the next thing. And like it's always it's our brains that are constantly working. We might not always be working, but we are
Yeah.
constantly working.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, how, like, maybe it's just that one day is going to mean so much for the other 29 days. It like almost feeds the other 29 days. So I'm like thinking of that. And we have a few, and I've really want to start actually being on vacation with my family when I go on vacation with my family. Because I like am always on my phone, always like updating people what we're up to. And I love it. You know, I love it. I'm not saying I don't love it, but just because I love it doesn't mean that it doesn't affect other parts
Yeah.
that I also want to experience.
Yeah.
So like, I almost like, I love getting on the scale. I have a great relationship with the scale. Like there's nothing wrong with me getting on the scale, but me not getting on allows me to have another experience.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to like stop doing things that you love to just go on the other side and experience something different to see if you would love that as well.
Experiencing something
Something
different.
different.
You
Oh,
will
like your
not
weight loss.
know how you feel, you will not know until you actually experience it.
Yeah. I feel like this, the last two podcasts, like Thursday and this one, like it's a high quality podcast. You know what I mean?
Do you?
I do, friend. I just feel like we're like, because it's more in real time. We're not like
Yes.
bunching it up. I
Yeah.
love this. Like, I love when we do that. I think podcast is like, not easy for us, but it's a conversation and
Oh,
it's an opportunity for us to go deeper into like this part of our lives and kind of like connected to how your weight loss helps us to stay connected to our happiness and always growing. Like we're always growing. And I think that's beautiful. Like I can just imagine how much we will be beautiful humans and happy humans. I would say when we're 40. I'm not 40 yet. But like, you know what I mean? Like I always think of the next decade in my life and I'm like, by 40, like I want to be just like peaceful, grateful. That's the shit I want when I'm 40. Not a nicer ass. I mean, that would be nice, but I want to be grateful and peaceful
yeah.
and happy,
Content.
content,
Content.
feeling like I'm like I've created an amazing life for this moment, always wanting to create even better, but also appreciating the moment.
Yeah. It's both.
It's both. Both can
Both.
coexist, you guys.
Both
Both
can
can coexist.
coexist. Okay, are we going to talk
Okay.
about what we wanted to talk about, or is there just too much depth to hear?
I think this was really good. Let's call it the one about motherhood. I think
The
this was
one about,
great.
I know.
Motherhood, going back to school. But I
Going
think
back
really
to
it was just motherhood and us like kind of like going deep into like how we feel about it.
I do
Helping
want to
people
say,
during motherhood.
yeah, and I do want to say that I don't want to say we're lucky, but like we're lucky that we have this platform that you and I get to just talk. And not a lot of people probably have friends in their life that they have this opportunity to kind of talk things through with. And
Mm,
as you were talking, you were recognizing and realizing things. And talking is a form of reflection. And that is such a powerful tool that we use at Your Weight Loss is we use the tool of reflecting. And reflecting looks different to everyone. Conversation with a friend, writing in your journal, your own thoughts, meditation, whatever. But I just want to take this moment to remind you guys of the power of reflection when it comes to figuring out what you need to be happy, why you're feeling a certain way, all of that reflection.
yeah. But like, yes, absolutely. 1000% what Alicia said. And you know what I was thinking? In order for me to be able to talk to a friend honestly, self-reflection, self-awareness needed to come first. Like in order for me to be able to verbalize the truth behind my feelings, I needed to do that with myself first. And so I do think that people say like, I have friends, we talk. Do you talk honestly? Do you say the shit that you should never say out loud to your friends?
Also, before you even get to that point, you need the authenticity with yourself.
Yourself. Do you say the shit to yourself? Like I say to myself, did I make a mistake 8 years ago to have kids? Like I say that shit to myself. I say it to my husband as well. Like,
and some people think that like they have that thought, but they push it out. And then it makes them feel like that thought is shameful or they feel guilt for that. I can so relate. When I was first starting my weight loss journey, I was really pushing thoughts away about my happiness and how I was feeling. And I was not being honest with myself about how much my weight was holding me back in my life. And I know why, because letting those thoughts in are scary. But that's step one to making any change, is acknowledging your actual feelings and thoughts and not just pushing them away. And then step two is talking them out loud, having those conversations, spending some time reflecting. And then step three is actually thinking about making changes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that yes, I am lucky. Like you said, lucky. I'm lucky that I can say these thoughts to my mom, to Jeff, to whatever. But at the same time, I make that choice. I could not talk to them.
Absolutely.
I could be like, my mom's going to judge me because my mom's whole identity was being my mom and being a grandmother. Like, I'm sure my mom doesn't understand when I'm like, what the fuck is this motherhood thing? Like, this is so difficult. And she's like, what do you mean? It's my mom is the mom that says, this is the best thing ever. Like, she is the other mom, and for her, like for me to talk to her, I know that she could be judging me. I do not care because I don't judge myself for my thoughts. So at the end of the day, we say we're lucky we have people to talk to. I don't rely on other people to not judge my thoughts. I don't judge my thoughts. At the end of the day, it really comes down to, this is an individual self-reflection, self-action item in your life. Like, other people in your life is bonus, but if you can do that yourself, like, it's worth nothing. Like, so at the end of the day, you guys, you are doing the work. Like, this is on you. And, being able to talk it out with someone just means usually I go even deeper, but I think I'm a deeper person than most people in terms of how I talk and how I really go into my thoughts. But like, if you can even just like scrape the surface of how Josee is, I think you could really change your life and take control.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, you don't have to be authentic a la Josee, where you just tell everyone how you feel, but you can at least start with being more authentic with yourself.
100%. And authenticity is like the building blocks to happiness.
And consistency, which is the building block to success.
Come on, I mean, we're changing lives here, one podcast at a time.
Can you get that for 3 days of...
No,
we're not starting again. It's over.
We're not.
Okay. So we love you. We appreciate you. Hopefully this podcast made you feel good. That's all it is. And just pushes you to the next level of authenticity. And you see value in being yourself and being honest. We love you. We appreciate you. Look at our link tree. That's how you join. That's how you buy your ticket to choose you. That's how you know what's up. And that's how you keep connected to this type of content. If content makes you feel good, you guys, that is value in your life. All right. Okay. Good talk, everyone. See you Thursday. Bye.
Bye.